Je vais serrer la main.
Merci. Ça va. Comment la vie de madame? Au nom du président de l'église évangélique luthérienne, au nom du directeur du district Fambélé, au nom du chef du centre de santé Emmanuel Gallo empêché, nous vous disons bonne arrivée. Nous vous disons également bon séjour dans notre village, précisément en République centrafricaine, à Gallo. Que la paix de Dieu soit avec vous et avec l'équipe qui vous a accompagné.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour.
Il est anglais.
Now we come into the hospital, and in 2005 I did the planning of the hospital, and it took us about 5 years to get the funds, and finally this has been paid by an American partner, and yeah, I remember when I was here for the first time in 2005. I thought this is the perfect place for a hospital. The church had all of these ideas, and then I started doing the planning. Fortunately, we got the funds. 2010 it has been built, and then they opened it up. I think it was late 2010, beginning 2011. And then we had first a German doctor here, Christoph van Dortzen. He did great work, and then we had a Central African doctor here who also helped a lot, but who left then, and we helped to find expatriates would like to come. It's very important to have basic skills in surgery, so to be able to do C-sections, hernia, and then of course everything you need to learn about epidemic disease like malaria, tuberculosis, you learn here on the ground. I think that's one of the really great things here that you learn by doing every day. It takes some time to arrive here because the culture is so different, but people are so happy to have somebody who comes with, first of all, good intention, well trained, and it's not just about being a good doctor in a specific field. Here you have to be a general practitioner in the widest sense, where you have to do everything. And I think it's the best you can do as a young doctor to come here, because you're gonna learn so much. In 2 years you learn more than 10 years in Europe.
Nombre 4. Donc avant, c'était 4 batteries qui alimentaient le centre jour et nuit. Mais après, il y avait un souci sur les appareils. Donc on a modifié pour mettre les 2. On ne fonctionne rien que pour alimenter. Donc on peut utiliser dans la journée jusqu'à 22 heures. Ça arrête.
Pharmacie B.
Oui, pharmacie B. Ah, c'est là-bas. On a 2 pharmacies ici. On fait 2 jours comme ça. Pour la gare.
D'accord.
On fait plusieurs routes là-bas. Consultation du médecin. Le médecin, c'est ici. C'est le cas dessus. Quand on parle, les filles m'ont été.
Non, c'est juste, ils vont faire des petites choses, ouvrir les accès.
Oui.
Alors, vous avez mis 2 pharmacies.
Si.
Donc, pour pouvoir gérer tout le monde qui arrive.
Moi, gérer chaque 2 jours. Moi, je fais 2 jours ici. Je descends. L'autre pharmacie B fait 2 jours. On fait la mutation comme ça.
Et la gestion de tout ce qui est le stock des médicaments, le stock du matériel.
Au niveau du dépôt là.
Donc ici, on peut sans autre mettre en place les flacons qu'on veut dire.
Oui.
Et puis il faut juste par la suite mettre en place un système pour bien diffuser les choses. Et là, il y a des accouchements actuellement.
Oui.
Tous les jours.
Tous les jours.
Tous les jours.
Tout le matériel.
Ça dépend. On essaie aussi tous les jours.
So this is where the ladies come to give birth. Okay, so every day they have good. Combien? 1, 2 femmes.
Parfois 2, 3.
So we have 1, 2, 3 ladies giving birth here every day.
On met l'autre ici, là-bas aussi ici. Là on met les enfants. Quand l'enfant accouche, on met les enfants ici.
This is the surgery theater. So this is much better compared to where I have worked in the past. So this is really a first-class surgery theater compared to the state hospital where I worked between 2005 and 2007.
No bad.
No, the seating is fantastic. And ça marche.
Non, moi je dois en fait.
Ça marche.
And the lights are.
le programme de groupe.
Oui.
Yeah, the lights are working. Yeah, that's great. So I mean, here you can do perfectly well a C-section. It's already great when you have good light. It's getting really complicated. It's getting really complicated when you have no light. And then let's have a look at the material. So when you have a very old material, c'est vieux, c'est compliqué, t'as les mains dans le ventre. So I don't see any material right now. Les boîtes, les boîtes chirurgicales, we're going to have a look at the material they use for surgery. Now they don't have a doctor, so that's a big problem. So here we have the...
On a des feuilles, c'est là-bas.
Right, so... Ah, donc ça c'est la... Et ça marche aussi?
Ça marche.
Okay, yeah, that's when so what you see here is you can faire une électrocoagulation. So by applying an electric current you can stop small vessels from bleeding. And here you see some material, and fortunately they have got an autoclave. Now this seems to be not too bad. So this is just a needle holder, and when everything is old, the needle is just slippy. It makes everything so much more complicated. Right, so you have here all the overalls you put before you go to surgery. So they have the basic things, we need to take care of that so that it's really well cleaned up, and I see you need to throw away. So this is so important that we get these things done. And not having no running water is of course a big issue. So they have a château d'eau. Les châteaux d'eau,
Ça existe.
ça se trouve où?
C'est en haut là-bas.
C'est en haut, ah, donc, ok. So, et l'eau vient de là?
L'eau vient de là.
Donc on a un fourrage ici?
Oui, c'est à côté du marigot là-bas. Quand on démarre le groupe, c'est tout.
Ça fonctionne.
Ah, ça fonctionne.
Oui,
tout dépend de l'électricité. Ah, d'accord. So everything depends on the generator. As soon as they switch on the generator, they have the electricity to make it running. And we had the same problem in the past in Babur. The problem is if you don't run it regularly, you need to let it run already 30 minutes to get it clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a big generator here that's not working. And we just do a little tour. We just went down from the houses where we can stay, and I tried to get an idea about what the size of the whole surface which is owned by the church actually is, and so it seems to be something like 10 hectares.
Et puis le gros problème aussi, c'est la consommation du carburant.
Du carburant, so it takes a lot of gasoline. Il y a des panneaux solaires aussi.
Oui, il y a des panneaux solaires, mais le problème de batterie aussi. Ça donne un peu la lumière, rien que jusqu'à 22h. 21h, 22h, c'est épi, ça. Et on utilise beaucoup.
Service de garde, c'est le triage.
Je voulais tout d'abord juste voir la maman qui a couché à tout à l'heure.
Elle est là.
Elle est là. C'est pas beaucoup. Comment ça va? Ça fait beaucoup mal. Douleur. Voilà. Là, il est bien contracté. Là, Seb, hein, tu regardes juste là, ils sont comme le poignet. Il est bien dur là. Hein, donc, Là, il est déjà deux doigts en dessous de l'ombicule. Hein, ici, tu le sens. Hein. Ce qui est normal à ce niveau-là. Tu le sens? Ok. Voilà. Là aussi, en effet. Donc, alors, ça saigne encore. Hein? David.
Oui, j'arrive.
David. So this is the lady who gave birth this morning. She came around 7 o'clock. About 20 minutes later, the baby was there. So when we arrived, the baby was already born. But we stayed just to make sure that the placenta has been delivered as well. The placenta, it's very important, has to be delivered completely, so to make sure that something stays in, because that would figurize some infections, intrauterine infections. Est-ce qu'elle a toujours des saignements?
C'est top de la voix.
Ça c'est calme.
C'est arrêté.
D'accord. Ok. Température en prend après?
Oui, on va prendre.
Ouais. Ok, ça c'est un peu.
So it's a 30 years old patient who work in the fields. He got injured. He had a wound with a piece of metal in the fields, and the ankle started to swell. He came here 2 weeks ago. There was a little bit of pus, so they made an incision and put it under penicillin IV for one shot, and amoxicillin twice a day for 1 week. And he has been coming here every 2 days for cleaning the wound. He says he has pain going to the hips, both sides. The muscles are he has muscle ache, no joint ache.
Okay. So in this kind of situation, we try to disinfect as often as possible. I personally believe the best disinfectant existing currently is chlorine dioxide in low concentration in water. So something like 300 ppm is just really perfect for this kind of wounds because it does not have at all any toxic effect. It's actually provoking wound healing, and it's very cheaper, and it can be produced easily in highly complex environments where you have basically no resources. And we produced ourselves a bottle of chlorine dioxide, and this is what we're gonna apply several days because it's gonna be very gonna take some time to heal that, and it starts with a good disinfection on the surface. Now the infection has ascended. It is painful here. You can see that in his face, so he's still taking antibiotic. Not anymore. Okay, so he's not taking any antibiotic anymore. C'est-à-dire, même si je le bois, il n'y a rien qui se passe.
D'accord.
C'est pas dangereux.
C'est pas dangereux.
D'accord.
Oui.
Et la solution la plus simple, c'est juste de l'utiliser comme ça. D'accord? Ok, c'est tout. Maintenant on attend.
Oui.
Alors c'est très utile pour le centre d'avoir des produits désinfectants et cicatrisants. Et ça ne coûte rien. Il faut juste apprendre comment l'utiliser. Oui. Et après, vous facturez un traitement
Oui.
de plaies,
D'accord.
des soins des plaies. Encore une fois, c'est pas dangereux, hein? Donc on ne peut pas faire du mal. Il faut juste trouver la bonne concentration. D'accord? So when we conceptualized, together with the Americans, the hospital, we decided to have 2 places with beds, and yeah, we have just about 8 beds on each ward, and the idea is, of course, to increase that, because here we can take care of 30-40 people to stay hospitalized with the surgery, the other. We can do so much. And the lab, which we're going to see later, really going to allow us to have a certain structure so that we, before people get a prescription, really get the necessary analysis, which is not the case right now. The management of the hospital is always a big issue, and that's where we need some Western influence, because there are dysfunctionalities left and right, and that's what we're gonna discover step by step. And then they just need a good structure, and it's always a tricky thing to put that into place, because that's where the intercultural communication comes in, and we cannot say things always the way we are used to say in the US or in Europe. We have to go slowly and repeat it again, because that's just the way they're working, and always stay calm and be kind, and then they pick it up and integrate it, and you repeat it again and again and again, and then you see some progress after a few weeks, a few months. And then they see the results, they see more money coming in, they get the salaries regularly, and everybody's happy. But the hygiene situation is not too bad, everything is clean. I mean, you have no pigs here, there's no chicken here. I've worked in places where all this happens, and suddenly you see a chicken coming out underneath the bed. That's not the case in Gallo. Gallo, c'est propre. Hein, tu vois?
C'est un peu pas totalement propre parce que
Wow.
on se débrouille. Hein.
J'ai déjà vu pire.
On se
So,
débrouille.
yeah, the idea is to get people here. What we urgently need is a technician who gives us a hand with all the electricity, and to make the water running, to put solar panels around the hospital, and I would be. That's you know, we medical doctors, we are so dependent on all these services and technicians and accountants, because on our own, well, we can do a C-section, we can treat malaria, but you need a whole structure around, and that's why we need a technician, electrician, somebody has got a clue about to make the water running. And communication also is a big issue, because we can put the satellite dish there, and that gives us access to the whole world. They're going to change everything. 20 years back, we had a long wave radio, and we basically could just communicate during the rainy season, because the clouds were hanging down, and then the long waves have been radiated through the clouds, and then it was going to a place in Cameroon where it was converted into emails. So fortunately that has changed massively. So satellite dish, hey, we could do everything. We can do regular updates, videos, we can build a community in the West who follows what we're doing. We can bring in doctors to do training, we can do epidemiological research. There's so much possible, because it's a huge need here. So it's a perfect setting. We have the houses, the guest houses around, to make Westerns feel comfortable, because it's true, we want to have running water, we want to have some electricity, and currently that needs all to be improved. It fills up the abdominal cavity up here, then it starts compressing the lungs, and people can't breathe properly, so there was a respiratory problem as well. Comment allez-vous? Un peu de douleur ou de soulagement?
peu de soulagement.
Un soulagement.
Je commence à sentir un peu de soulagement.
Okay, okay. So he feels a little bit better now. He sees that by draining the liquid, it does some improvement. And on va continuer, hein, ça coule toujours. We just said that we're gonna continue draining. And puis après on repasse encore. D'accord. Le traitement. D'accord. Ah, ça c'est l'épouse. C'est l'épouse.
Oui, c'est ma femme. Je n'ai pas encore trouvé le médicament là.
On va trouver. On trouve. Ok.
So now we're gonna check the result of the expectoration of this young patient, Eli, 23 years old, with pulmonary TB. We just took the sample for some chemical reactions. It's called the Thiel-Nielsen, and we're gonna have a look on the microscope. We're gonna try to find TB germs.
So, Jean-Paul, who is the responsible of the laboratory here in the hospital, he's gonna do a test to find out if the patient, where we just took some liquid from the abdomen, if he has got abdominal tuberculosis.
Acide trichoroacidique ou acide acétique de solution.
Right, right. So this is a very, very useful test, and it's called Rivalta. And yeah, so we very happy that we can do this here. We just identified a patient with abdominal tuberculosis, and we're gonna have a look at him right now.
What is the treatment for something like this?
The treatment for this is the typical antibacterial treatment for tuberculosis, which is it's basically the same like they use for pulmonary tuberculosis. So these are 4 different molecules available in one tablet, and according to the body weight, people have to take this either 3 pills a day, 4 pills a day, 5 pills a day. So by the way, multi-resistant tuberculosis is a big problem in Central African Republic. People take treatment sometimes for 2 months, but should take them longer, so they stop too soon. And the problem is that they become resistant to the conventional anti-tubercular treatment, and everything gets more complicated. And this had become a problem also for the countries around the Central African Republic, because then suddenly they have to deal with these multi-resistant tuberculosis strains. So it's a big issue, big issue.
Pas tellement, non. Je suis la gare maintenant. Bonsoir.
Alors, on va voir l'aperçu. Il y a une tuberculose. C'est la boule. C'est le papa, il est là. Ah, il est là. Okay. So this is one of the wounds we saw today. and this man he had a stroke, and this is a wound from burns, and but it looks already pretty good actually. So yeah. Bon appétit.
Merci.
C'était quelle ville? C'était vers Bukaranga, hein? Ok. Alors bonne nuit, hein? Il a pris sa goutte, on a donné la goutte dans ma bouche. Ok. D'accord. Maintenant tu travailles plus. Tu vois, c'est bon.
Tu travailles plus. La respiration est plus.
Ok, ouais. Comment va-t-il? Comment va-t-il?
On n'a pas
sa médication, il a pris ses comprimés. These tuberculosis patients, they have this very serious look. Yeah, they don't smile. I mean, this is serious disease.
What is her condition?
It's okay, she's stable. She's not getting worse. Tomorrow we're going to drain the ascites again. And they're going to certainly pull out again another 1.5, 2 liters. Alors ça c'est la... So can you come a bit closer then? So, young girl who had an accident, and the problem with these accidents always it goes so deep into or it can go so deep into the flesh, and they have of course subcutaneous infections, so it's not enough just to treat them externally, so we put you of course under antibiotics, and let's see, one knee. They probably all came with malaria. Ils sont tous venus pour du palais. Les deux sont anémiques. Donc là, ça vaut la peine qu'on mette encore une goutte. Ouais. Donc,
Tu les as vus aujourd'hui?
Non, je les ai pas.
Now, what was the situation
The thing with the malaria, they both have malaria. 2 kids with malaria. One of the problems with the treatment of malaria is they put so much medication. They put anti-malarial, antibiotics, cortisone, paracetamol, diclofenac, or phenobarbital. They have put a whole cocktail just to make the symptoms disappear, and that's not a good approach. So it would be enough just to give some quinine and maybe some, in some cases, when the fever is really provoking some convulsions, to give antipyretics. But my colleague Sebastian is going to go and get some homeopathic medicine we're going to add, which is very beneficial in such cases. Oui, oui. On peut, voilà, encore. Voilà, voilà. Ok. Alors ça c'est... Voilà. Alors on a un linge, je pense. C'est difficile, hein? Je dois l'expliquer correctement, hein. Voilà. I have had all sorts of situations here in this country where they call you in and say we have a little bit of a problem, and then you see the mother not that fortunate like her, the baby alive, mother alive. You see the baby delivered, except the head, baby dead, and it's just about saving the mother, and they make in this. They came like this, 100 kilometers on a motorbike. You could see she was a bit excited. There's a problem. Can you have a look? Huh? But I know from other places where they start, when they get really stressed, they start making choke, for instance. Yeah, they started choking around because that's the way to cope with stress. Huh? And this is a serious situation. If you don't deblock the shoulder, there's a good chance both gonna die. Yeah. Without integrating new therapeutic approaches, new innovative ideas in the field of treatment of metabolic disease and epidemic disease, I think people here will never improve on a collective level public health situation, because the complexity of putting into place concepts of Western public health concepts is, for a variety of reasons, just not possible in rural Central Africa. So Central African Republic is one of the poorest countries of the world, where you have something like 60-65% people illiterate, where you have a highly unstable security situation, a highly unstable political situation, where transport systems are not well developed, where you have no electricity, where you have no running water. You just cannot put into place systems which work well in the West, but definitely you cannot put into place here. So you need to put into place concepts which are cheap, simple, safe, and effective, and I think that's great with some of the innovative ideas we have, the results we get now over 20 years. And I think from a pure humanitarian point of view, we cannot afford not to treat these people. So social medicine is a great approach. I think everything which is about local treatment of chlorine dioxide water solution is a great approach, and that's highly appreciated and welcome in these areas, and they can be easily integrated in already existing public healthcare structures.
Et puis de mon côté, voilà, j'ai passé 10 jours avec sous les auspices de Dr Klaus qui m'a appris beaucoup de choses, mais tout le monde m'a appris quelque chose ici, chacun d'entre vous, et puis tous les patients. Pour un jeune médecin, c'est très enrichissant, on apprend beaucoup de choses, et c'est que le début. Donc, comptez sur moi pour passer le message et puis pour essayer de revenir ici régulièrement. Et puis là, cette fois-ci, Dr Klaus, il a ramené un de ses disciples. Donc la prochaine fois, j'essaierai moi-même de rapporter quelqu'un et puis faire une chaîne comme ça, qu'à chaque voyage, il y ait au moins une personne de nouveau qui découvre et qui puisse découvrir ce pays et puis expérimenter ses richesses. Donc voilà, là juste avant j'étais en train de discuter avec entre autres André aussi de la musique centrafricaine, et puis il me disait qu'il y avait beaucoup d'informations, de leçons qui passaient par la musique. Donc voilà, ça m'a fait réfléchir on s'est dit qu'il fallait qu'on trouve une chanson, hein, et puis pour l'instant j'ai trouvé ça, mais il va falloir que tout le monde réfléchisse un peu pour l'améliorer. Alors ça fait prévention, paludisme,